So no, he wasn't the most divisive president. He was the moment this country had to confront what it had been avoiding for a very long time. And instead of dealing with it, people blamed him for it. Not because he divided the country, but because he exposed how divided it already was.
Ooh, that was nasty. I was looking for the ref to stop the fight. Honestly, Megyn Kelly gonna have to reconstruct herself after this. That's, again.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Racist of the Week. We explore the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can drop them in the comments. You can email me at admin@reesewaters.com. Now, recently, we explored the very nature of Donald Trump's inadequacy and how it expresses itself towards Barack Obama.
Hatred for Barack Obama is plain and simple. He's black. He went to Harvard Law. He graduated the top of his class. He's, incredibly articulate, and he's all the things that Donald Trump wants to be, right? And he just can't handle it. So what do you do if you can't handle it? And you're Donald Trump, you attack it. The same way he attacks my credibility all the time, right? All of a sudden, I've become a convicted liar. Well, why am I the liar, right? At the end of the day, who did I lie for when I lied to Congress? I lied for the benefit of and at the direction of Donald J. Trump.
But in that video, and shout out to Psychology Today, we noted three things: that it was largely a development in protection of his ego and narcissism, but it was also colored by racism and political expediency.
So when you talk about divisiveness, Barack Obama was smeared as not being a legitimate president because Trump was lying that he was not a native-born American citizen. And then he welcomed that same man into the White House. Right. Their wives sat down and had tea. So what else?
I think Obama is incredibly classy. I think he's incredibly classy.
It's a legitimate question. What else? Why is Obama considered by a lot of conservatives, and maybe you're one of them, to be so incredibly divisive? Is it because he told people he was black?
Stop! He's already dead.
Right.
No, no. I think he's incredibly classy. He's a very eloquent speaker. I think there's a lot of things to credit him for.
Lydia,
I'm
how
saying his
is he?
policies.
Hold on.
And I will credit him for this as well. He said that he thinks America is great today. I think he said the U.S. is an undeniable force for good in the world. And I was glad to hear him say that, because when he was in office, he would go on these sort of tours essentially apologizing for America.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now, let's tackle that last one, because it's not behavior that he would continually engage in if it didn't reward him politically. In other words, Trump's Obama obsessions got nothing on MAGAs.
MAGA Republicans are fucking idiots. Must feel amazing to just be stupid. The world must be easy for you. Trump and the MAGA Republicans have such a hard-on obsession with Barack Obama. The only person on earth that has a bigger obsession is a crackhead with crack. They're now trying to associate Barack Obama with Jeffrey Epstein. In a tweet that said, "It was buried by the press, but not only were Obama and Jeffrey Epstein friends, they traveled around Thailand together in search of the perfect spring roll."
No, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You mean one of the greatest ever food investigators, food reporters, food bloggers, food journalists, Anthony Bourdain, the Anthony Bourdain? You're confusing him with Jeffrey Epstein?
First of all, I don't get to sneak out, period. But once in a while.
do you guys use your phones for? We literally live in a time where we have the biggest search engine with all the history of the world in our fingertips, and you decided that another white man with gray hair was Jeffrey Epstein, and we were going to be like, yeah, you finally got him. I won't even tell you guys to go back to school because there's probably not enough schools in your hometown. That's why you guys all have the literacy of a wet seal. Do better. Leave Obama alone. Release the Epstein files. I don't give a flying who's inside of it. I just know that if your boy's not in it, which he is, they should be released. Any Democrat in it should go down. Any Republican in it should go down, but release them. But you're scared to release them.
Meanwhile,
8 years in the crucible, and not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic, and absolutely unshakable moral fiber. And to do it all as a first, and the higher standard that comes with all that, the claims that a U.S. senator and constitutional law expert wasn't qualified for the job, the lies about your birthright, your faith, your patriotism, the outrage when you stated the biological fact that if you'd had a son, that he too would be black. Yet, you were unflappable at every turn, always focused, always calm, always looking at the long view. How absurd it is to even imagine that you might have buckled under the pressure even once, lashed out in frustration, lost your temper. How absurd it is to imagine that you might have done anything but make our family and this entire country proud.
Hey, y'all. Here's Barack Obama with Jeffrey Epstein on the set of Dancing with the Stars. Here's Barack Obama with Jeffrey Epstein at the 40th anniversary of Cool Hand Luke. Here's Barack Obama giving Jeffrey Epstein a medal at the White House. Oh, that one actually might be problematic. Okay, let's just move on to the next one then.
a few moments later.
The renewed obsession with President Obama as a distraction from PDF Gate shows that MAGA always keeps an ace up its sleeve. When things get tough, play the black card. It never fails, does it? Imagine going to Barack Obama slander and landing on Epstein while protecting Donald Trump. I'm surprised y'all just didn't Photoshop Obama's head on Trump's body actually with Epstein. The conspiracy theories are insane.
Something wicked this way comes.
Now, I particularly love the thing about the race relations because they talk about Obama and how he affected race relations. Who did y'all talk to? Y'all talk the black MAGAs? The black MAGAs are the ones that told you that it was Obama. You gotta love mandating and dictating what race relations were as a way to refute that we had a problem. Oh yeah, because that doesn't showcase it at all.
Wake the hell up!
Y'all out here sounding like my mama. You got to speak up and ask for what you want. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. You need to have the confidence to express yourself. You want what for dinner? This ain't a democracy. This is a dictatorship. Who name on them bills?
Of it, like, oh my God, look at this money he's giving us. He tried to bribe his way out. I didn't do that. Nobody mentions that. 1.7 billion and hundreds of millions of dollars. They tried to bribe their way out of it. And you know what the Iranians did? They laughed at Obama and they said he's a stupid son of a...
And the rest of them were just as wild.
So Trump is now accusing Barack Obama of treason by alleging that Obama somehow engaged in a conspiracy to sabotage Trump's presidency in 2016 by talking about Russia meddling in American elections. And I'm sorry, but if you're a Trump voter and this is all it takes to successfully distract you and make you forget that Trump is straight up refusing to release the Epstein files, you're a idiot, and even my dog is smarter than you. And she regularly eats her own shit. So, look, here are the facts. During Trump's first presidency, the GOP-led Senate Intelligence Committee did a 3-year-long investigation into Russian efforts to influence the 2016 election and undermine our democracy. That investigation included Marco Rubio, who is now Donald Trump's own Secretary of State, and it found that Russians absolutely did meddle, and they continue to meddle, in American elections. After that investigation was concluded, Trump appointed John Durham as special counsel to further investigate the matter, including investigating the investigators. That investigation, once again, cleared Obama of any wrongdoing and reconfirmed much of what the earlier report had already laid out. It is concrete fact that Russia meddled in American elections using things like advanced networks of bots to seed propaganda amongst the American electorate. That is a fact that even Donald Trump's own investigations confirmed.
But then again, I probably gave you too much credit, MAGA, assuming that there was any grounds for your opposition to Obama.
Okay, this is a failed Oklahoma representative. He's a pastor and founder of Pastors for Trump, Jackson Laymeyer.
I hope that Barack Hussein Obama gets arrested. I hope he gets prosecuted. And I hope he spends the rest of his life in prison. This is a smooth criminal, and he'll definitely try to escape, probably to an Islamic country.
This is so racist, and this is what Trump started. This is what he unlocked when he started with the birth certificate. He unlocked the nutty white MAGA Christians, Republican Christians, and now they just brazenly say it's always Barack Hussein Obama. Like they think that, hurts Barack. I mean, like Barack Obama gives a shit.
And shout out to I've Had It, doing fantastic work. That is 1,000% correct. They have unlocked the racists among us. And I like that they tied it to the MAGA Christians. I got a whole piece talking about the racism of them. So be on the lookout for all of that. But what is the principal opposition that MAGA has to Obama?
We don't feel like ourselves. We haven't felt like ourselves in a while. And I'm sorry to get political, but I'm just going to be honest. We haven't felt like ourselves since Barack Obama. I just think he was such a slick snake. He was this affable guy who was like wearing good suits and looked the part and sounded the part and dressed the part, but was so divisive.
Megyn Kelly, we need you to try it again, just without all the flirting.
And I really wanted to ask about your thoughts on Barack Obama. He's like my favorite president of all time. I think he was great for this country. It was really nice to see a beautiful black man in the office. And where would you rank him among like modern U.S. presidents? Where would you put him?
Sorry, I didn't hear the landing.
Like, where would you rank Barack Obama out of the last few modern presidents? Like, for me, he's number one. Like, where would you put him?
I would rank him in the 21st century at the very bottom. Yes, correct. At the beginning of Trump, 15, 16, we were coming off of Obama. And I used to say at that time, I think Obama is a good man, but a bad president, and that Trump is a bad man, but a good president. That's what I thought initially. And I completely had that wrong. I actually think Obama was a bad president, and I genuinely think he was a bad man. I know, sorry, controversial. And I think Trump is a good man and a good president.
A few moments later.
Talk about a glass house. I mean, Trump has cheated on every wife he's had. He met Marla Maples while he was still married to the mother of his children, Ivana.
Right.
It was all over the New York papers. I'm from New York, upstate New York, but I was in New York when this all went down, the city. And he was like being touted, like he was proud of the affair. It was all over the papers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by the way, Ivana, his first wife, accused him of her, that she alleged in her first book that he was so angry over the hair transplant he got that she made him get. It was so painful that he raped her. And she later retracted that when he ran for president, but that stood on the books for some time. I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm just saying, clearly not a great relationship there.
Right.
And then he winds up with Melania, and if you think Trump's been faithful to Melania, okay, that's great. You got bigger issues than I can solve here.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
Ooh, boy, there is so much to unpack there. You know what, Megyn Kelly? Since you love black women so much and you're so accepting and promoting of all things black feminine, I'm going to let them have it.
Guys, so I was having this exchange with this gentleman on social media today, on Facebook. And we were talking about, we started talking about Michelle Obama versus Melania, but somehow we got onto the subject of Barack Obama. And so he said that Barack Obama was the worst president we've ever had, and that he was the most divisive president we've ever had. Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen where a lot of people, particularly MAGA, they've said that Obama was so divisive. And so I just want to focus on that. And let's just stop pretending. Let's just be truthful. A black man, people, did not divide this country. Racism did. And stay with me because I'm going to explain to you what I mean. His presidency forced people to see it, whether they wanted to or not.
She cooking. Oh yeah, that's that Sunday meal right there, after church.
Because what exactly made him divisive? I mean, every speech the man gave, he talked about unity. He always said, I'm your president, it did across party lines. He was everyone's president. He was supporting America, the entire country, whether you agreed with him or not. So what makes people say that he was divisive? I mean, was it his policy or was it his presence? And that's what I think it was, his presence.
One more time for those in the back.
When he got elected, there was an immediate movement questioning whether he was even born here. Not disagreement. Guys, that was delegitimization. That wasn't policy. That was about who people believed had the right to sit in that office. When he passed healthcare reform, suddenly it was tyranny. But similar ideas before him, because he didn't just come up with affordable health care on his own. Remember, Mitt Romney had basically suggested the same thing for his state anyway. So it wasn't necessarily 100%, his idea. He didn't sit down at a table somewhere one night by a candle and write it, okay? But they did not treat him the same when he came out with this. When he said in response to the Trayvon Martin shooting, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. You already know that really set him off. He was called divisive. For acknowledging something that black families understood without explanation. I don't think it was just black families either. I think a lot of white families understood exactly what he was saying, and what he was saying was the absolute truth. That could have easily been my son. who went to that store, got those Skittles, came back, and got confronted.
Excuse me, ma'am, I brought you some water. No, keep going. No, keep going. We love this.
The Ferguson unrest happened, and he called for calm and accountability and understanding. He was still called divisive. Not because of what he said, but because of what people heard. And what they heard was a challenge. It was a challenge to the version of America they were comfortable with. So let's be honest. Divisive became a code word, a way to say, I don't like what this represents. Because a lot of people were fine with the idea of equality until it looked like him, until it had power, until it couldn't be ignored. So no, he wasn't the most divisive president. He was the moment this country had to confront what it had been avoiding for a very long time. And instead of dealing with it, people blamed him for it. Not because he divided the country, but because he exposed how divided it already was.
Ooh, that was nasty. I was looking for the ref to stop the fight. Honestly, Megyn Kelly gonna have to reconstruct herself after this. That's, again.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
She gonna have, one thing she gonna have to back up off the camera. I can tell you that right now. That was nasty. Because y'all watch Megyn Kelly, y'all like to, diminish the, okay, because it's a black woman. Okay, I got you. No, you can hear from one of your own.
Everything started with Obama. We were all happy in the 90s, and 9/11 happened, and that sucked. But then the early 2000s, everybody was fine. Nobody cared about race. People didn't care about politics every single day. And then Obama was elected, and the entire world went to shit.
So America never cared about race until Obama took office in 2009. That's what you're telling me. Which tells me your main problem with Barack Obama is that he was black. That's the only divisive thing Barack Obama ever did was be black. Now, I don't know how old this creator is, but I don't think they remember the 90s and the 2000s that well. The 90s were all my teenage years, and the 2000s were my 20s. I was just a kid, and I remember the older George Bush with the read my lips, no new taxes, and then taxes went up, so he got shit canned after one term. Bill Clinton got impeached for a blowjob. We had the Bush-Gore election that everyone was pissed off. Gore had more votes. Bush won. The ballots in Florida, all that was a big deal. Obviously, 9/11, the Iraq War, both of them. Like, what are you talking about? And as far as race, you don't think people talked about race in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s? I remember being a teenager in Ohio and seeing on TV in these small areas having Klan rallies at towns' courthouses with the police there to protect them. Obama pulled us out of a recession. His only crimes were being black and having a tan suit. That's it.
I love that tan suit.
How y'all like my tan suit?
That's right, and I got my tan. I got my tan. I'm on code. I'm on code today. He had me wrong at we were all happy in the 90s. Not with them hammer pants, we wasn't. We sure enough wasn't. You seen them cross colors and them party shirts? Who was happy? Huh? One thing I can tell you that was good about the 90s is the fanny pack. I miss that. I miss the fanny pack. I don't have enough money to wear a fanny pack in the 2020s and make it work. I still get dragged, but that's my goal, is to build up the channel to where I can have enough money to where I can wear a fanny pack with pride and confidence.
Can't touch this. can't touch this.
Now, as wild as it was that Obama was the physical embodiment of all of Trump's failures, the worst part is, MAGA, y'all didn't even have achievements to point to this administration that was gaslighting you against Obama and all your revisionist history. Because you name it, Obama did it better.
Obama did it better. Obama did it better. The new talking point from MAGA is, well, Obama dropped bombs too. Yeah, he did. And he did it better. Obama was able to use surgical strikes and limited military operations to take out targets and not start a war. How about that shit? He did it better. In fact, most of the things that the Trumpies like about Trump, Obama did better. We'll go with unemployment. Obama did better. Economy. Obama did better. Deportations. Obama did better. He was able to deport way more people than Donald Trump, and he's able to do it on 1/10 of the freaking budget. Yeah? And without sending fucking goon squads into American cities. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get across a health care bill. Trump can't. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get tax cuts for the low and middle class. Trump for the upper class, for the rich. Obama did it better. So trying to say that Obama did it too on any subject just shows the failure of Trump and the failure of his people to recognize that everything that Trump said Obama did it better. They just don't like that a black man did it better than a white man. And one last point, let's not forget that Obama was able to get Iran to enter into a non-proliferation treaty for nukes. Trump couldn't do it, so Obama did it better.
I don't know about y'all, but that is way more relatable to me. Other than the kill bin Laden part, I can't relate to that at all. We're being honest. Trump can't even out-troll Obama. You gotta love that. I don't know what's wilder. The fact that he can't even out-troll Obama when he literally gets practicing multiple times a day, like every hour on the hour, or the fact that he didn't think it was out of pocket to post an AI video of somebody getting arrested holding 34 felonies. The audacity. The audacity. What'd you say, Obama? The audacity of hope. It's the audacity of hope that he can one day approach Obama's place in our society.
In the Oval Office, it's much more polarized. It's been had quite a lot of woke and other influences that I don't think that Barack Obama was a woke president. That wasn't even a thing when he was.
But look, here's the thing. I get that you might get it, but I'm really focused on this. When you say that President Obama is one of the most divisive presidents in history, that's something that you guys can never back up. You never can bring up any substance. It's a talking point that you guys always say. So to Abby's point, what specifically are you referring to when you say he's one of the most divisive presidents in history?
He did not invite Milli Vanilli to the library party today, or Vanilla Ice, or CNC Music Factory. That's a difference from the American 250.
Right.
That
Didn't
is a
have
big
that on
difference
my
from the
bingo
American
card
250.
for sure.
That is very true. Next.
What is wrong with this president? How dumb is he?
The purpose of a journalist is to hold people in power accountable.
Now, we're going to vet the president. We're going to talk about his vacation, his golfing.
2 golf outings for the president cost $2.9 million. That alone is amazing.
Should a president, the leader of the free world, be on a social network tweeting?
No.
He's kind of a celebrity president. He's kind of like Ryan Seacrest.
This is a president who does not really know what he wants to do. He simply wants to be popular with everybody, every audience before which he stands.
The president seems almost obsessed with cable TV, or am I wrong?
This is a president who rules by executive authority, executive action.
When he's not doing executive actions, he's out on the golf course.
Because let's be honest, it's no way Trump could deal with even half of the smoke they had for Obama. for nothing.
The president heads to Florida for a boys' weekend of golf.
Yes, this president is the beneficiary of the vision and the action of his predecessor.
The rule used to be a sitting president doesn't criticize his predecessor, especially by name.
Has any president in your lifetime taken on this kind of tone, this kind of harshness, either towards his predecessor or towards a single media outlet? I have never seen this before.
Without the teleprompter, the president doesn't know exactly what to do correctly.
The president's budget that he gave today, all right, doesn't cut any deficit. It increases the debt.
For the man who said we have to get our deficit under control, he's not doing it. It's like golf, Mr. President, and you play a lot of that.
He's certainly not acting like the most transparent president in history, is he, Juan?
What's in those records that you don't want us to know about?
Once again, he's pandering to the worst regimes and thugs and dictators.
This is a president that is acting like a dictator. This is a president who is ignoring the rule of law and siding with lawbreakers.
That's right. That's what Fox News had to say with the man that so destroyed the narcissism of the man they uplift that he can't stop talking about him. That's a level of desperation I would never want to know. And what is it that you do when you don't actually have any substance to point to? You just start talking about the Bulls and the White Sox. I mean, you could do that, but we know that inevitably would tie back to right-wing politics. You know how that is. Family.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama was verbally attacked at Donald Trump's 80th birthday spectacle in the South Lawn of the White House in a way so disgraceful that I refuse to repeat it here. That attack has a history. Misgendering black women, stripping them of their womanhood are tactics that white people use to justify the rape of enslaved black women, the stealing of their children, and forcing them to labor in the fields for the pleasure of white families. It's not a joke. It's not trash talk. It's a weapon with a long and ugly history. The fighter's name was Josh Holkett, and every elected official or public figure who was there needs to condemn his remarks. Joe Rogan heard it, said nothing. Dana White said nothing. Donald Trump and his vice president, J.D. Vance, a proud Catholic man, said nothing. His cabinet members, Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth, were there and said nothing. House Speaker Mike Johnson, a white evangelical Christian, was there and said nothing. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg was there. Trump's family was there, and they all said nothing. And then there's Melania Trump. All throughout antebellum American history, the plantation mistresses were just as guilty as their racist husbands. Melania Trump is the plantation mistress of the modern era. She sat right next to her husband while a former first lady was attacked on the grounds of the People's House and said nothing. Michelle Obama served this country with grace and dignity for 8 years, and they can't stand it. 10 years ago this summer, she stood at a podium and told the world that she woke up every morning in a house that was built by slaves. MAGA called it divisive. Fact checkers called it accurate. Now, on those same grounds, they're trying to put her back in her place. Anyone who is a part of this spectacle who won't condemn this attack on America's most admired woman is not just complicit, they're guilty. And we're coming for them too.
They tried to take it there. You need to ask Fox. Oh, you are Fox News. Huh. You need to ask that at the next production meeting. Why are we all so miserable all the time? Oh, because Trump is miserable all the time. Huh. But that was the thing that you just said about Michelle Obama, that she hated America. Now, I want to take a moment to wish all you guys out there a very happy Father's Day. But can we talk about these gifts for a second? I mean, really, the disrespect. The disrespect. Giving me a tie for Father's Day? Y'all know I work from home. Y'all know I work from home. What, you trying to insult me? And a tie is literally just a leash for corporate America. It's either that or a multi-tool. I got a multi-tool last year. Do I look like I know what to do with a multi-tool, a hammer, screwdriver, pliers, a wire stripper. Do I look like I know what any of those words mean? And if it's not the tools, then you know it gotta be a grill, because the world just thinks the dad's ultimate fantasy is standing over an open flame in 95-degree weather, sweating into a brisket while everybody else is inside in the AC eating the food that he cooked, which if it's me, he undercooked. Y'all trust me around meat? Y'all trust me around meat? Well, why the grill stuff then? Then why the grill stuff? That is not a vacation. That is an unpaid shift at a steakhouse. Do I even look like I serve edible meat? Pause. But when you strip away all of the commercialized junk, Father's Day is a beautiful moment, isn't it? Because we live in a culture that loves to trivialize the role of a dad or paint it like we're the secondary bumbling character in the family sitcom, which we always are. But let's be for real. The importance of true fatherhood cannot be overstated. It's about presence. It's about being the anchor in a world that is constantly trying to drift our children out to sea. And particularly for Black fathers, doing this job right is a radical act, because we live in a society with a historical narrative that tries to rip the family structure apart, a narrative that loves to focus on who isn't there. But the reality I see every single day is a legion of men who are locked in, stepped up, and entirely devoted to their kids. Men who are breaking generational cycles of silence, learning how to show emotional vulnerability, and teaching their sons and daughters how to navigate a world that won't always be kind. As a dad, you're your child's first blueprint. You show them what security feels like. You show them what respect looks like. The way you love their mother, the way you handle failure, the way you stand back up when life knocks you down. They're downloading all of it. They're watching how you walk so they can figure out how to step. It's an exhausting job. It's a thankless job a lot of the time, full of sleepless nights, silent sacrifices, and worrying about things you can't control. And you don't get a trophy or a standing ovation. But the payoff is watching a child walk out into the world with their chest out and their head high, because they know deep down in their bones that they have a father who has their back. That kind of confidence is armor, and you gave them that. And maybe, just maybe, you get to see that child pass on those lessons to their son, daughter, niece, nephew, or mentee, because that presence and leadership role transcends bloodlines. I know. Where do you think Waters comes from? So to every man out there holding down the fort, showing up for the games, listening to the problems, and quietly building a foundation for the next generation to stand on, don't underestimate the power of your presence. You are the culture shifting in real time. Keep pushing, keep loving, and know that your work matters. Bipartisan chaos requires unanimous love.